Hi, my name is Greg Percifield from Doing Piano Shows, and I'm going to demonstrate and show you how to use the Nimbus, the Chauvet Nimbus low fog machine, which is right here. It's very easy to use. Right now it's empty. You can show inside here. This is where you put the dry ice. There's water that goes inside it, and I'll show you how that works in just a minute. You plug it in, it takes about 20 minutes to heat the water up. If you're a cook, you know that you should probably already put hot water in it in the first place so that it heats up a little bit faster. It usually takes about 20 minutes. If you want it to go twice as fast, there is an extra cable that you can plug in into two separate circuits, and that'll heat it up in half the time. But for our purposes, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to show you how it works. Here I have some dry ice. I get the pellet kind because it works a lot better than the blocks. A few things I want to say about that. Don't mind the dog toy noise, that's fine. A few things I want to say about the dry ice. One, it's very cold, about 180 degrees minus Fahrenheit. So when you handle it, you're going to want to wear gloves unless you want frostbite. The other thing is the storage. You can see it I have in this styrofoam container here. It is not airtight, and it shouldn't be airtight because dry ice sublimates. That's when it turns back to a gas. What will happen if it's in an airtight container, it will sublimate and the gas will explode. So essentially you'll have a bomb in your carrying case, which you don't want. It sublimates at a rate of about 5 to 10 pounds every 24 hours. The Chauvet Nimbus will hold 10 pounds of dry ice. If I have a show that I need dry ice for, I generally buy 1.5 times the amount that I'll need. So normally I would get 15 pounds of dry ice. Another thing you can do with the container, if you want it to sublimate slower, you can put some newspaper in there on top of it. The less air that you have exposed to it, the better. That's going to slow down the sublimation process. Right now, I'm going to fill this with water and we'll get started. Alright, so I've got some hot water here, and I'm going to fill this up with hot water. There are two lights on the top, a red one and a green one. When the red light is on, that means that the heater's on, the water is heating up. When the light turns to green, that means it's at the optimal temperature and it's ready to start producing fog. One thing to note, I have it plugged in right now, no light is on, and that's because there is not water inside it. The red light will only come on when there's enough water inside. So, this will hold 4.5 gallons of water, and I'm going to start filling it up. As you can see, the light is still not on because there's not enough water. So I'll get some more. One thing you might have noticed is I didn't put the dry ice in yet. And that's actually the last thing you'll want to do, maybe just before the newlyweds hit the dance floor. You know, maybe like 5 minutes before is plenty of time. Okay, as you can kind of see, the light is on. It's daylight, so it's a little bit hard to tell, but I'm trying to give it some shade. The red light's on. That means that there is enough water in there. So at this point, we're just going to wait and let it heat up. It shouldn't take too long. And once it turns green, we'll get started with the dry ice. The Chauvet Nimbus is outside and it's heating up. It should be done soon. It's been close to 20 minutes. Just a few things that I wanted to mention about it before we go on out there. One, the top plate is going to be very hot. The water inside, it heats up to a temperature of about 180 degrees. So it's a little bit less than boiling, but you'll want to wear gloves, safety gloves, the entire time. Also, when the fog comes out, you'll want to have about 6 to 7 feet in front of you with clear space. The fog comes out at a very high temperature. For that 6 feet, that's your safety room. One other thing, the fog is carbon dioxide. That's what the dry ice sublimates to. But I'm just saying, you don't want to put your face right in front of the fog when it's on the ground. You don't want any kids lying down on the dance floor and breathing in the fog. Obviously, it's totally safe to be above the fog. It's not going to hurt anybody. It's going to dissipate into the air and everybody's going to be totally fine. But again, there's no reason to stick your face right into the fog and breathe that in. Aside from that, we should be just about ready to go. The green light is now on, and I'm going to start filling this up with the dry ice. Now, as I said, the top plate is very, very hot because the water inside is about 180 degrees. A few other things. When you use this, there's no need for it to be plugged in. That is only simply to heat it. Here you can see there are two settings. This is for kind of a medium density fog and for a very thick fog. The fog is going to lie about maybe a foot or two off the ground. It's made up of water molecules. It's not going to set off fire alarms, smoke detectors, and when it does rise, it dissipates quickly once it gets above that 2 feet. So it's a great machine to use. What I'm going to do right now, open this up and start filling it up with the dry ice. And if you want to come over here, take a look inside as I do that. Go. It would be great if I had a better scooper. It's something that I am going to invest in. Again, this holds 10 pounds of dry ice. It will emit a fog for 6 minutes. That'll do it. So I am, in fact, going to unplug the machine. Now, I have this on the Nimbus roller. That'll cost about 90 bucks. The Chauvet Nimbus itself costs $1,000, so you'll pay a little bit over $1,000 for this, but the upsell on it is usually about $300 or $400. Now again, on the dance floor, you'd want to have about 7 or 6 feet in front of you. You don't want it going right on somebody's legs. Usually this is for the first dance and they're out in the center of the floor, so there's nothing at all to worry about. So first I'll put it on a medium fog, and you can see it makes a very nice thick low fog. But let me put it on all the way down here. You can fill a dance floor up very, very quickly with this. And now my driveway and car is filled with low fog, including a worried cat, which I will get out of here thinking, what's going on? Here you go. Then let's get rid of the remainder of the dry ice in here. And again, like I said, this will run for 6 minutes, so you can leave it running the entire time that or as long as you need to, that the first dance is going on, and that's going to also ensure that you have a nice thick fog on the floor. And that's it, the Chauvet Nimbus.
And darling, I will be loving you till we're 17. Baby, my heart could still pull as hard at 20.